There's nothing quite like that feeling of wide-eyed wonder when you see a magic trick that leaves you desperately trying to figure out how on earth it was done. Well, our next three contestants all want to be the cause of that wide-eyed wonder. Please welcome three budding magicians, Nicky, Darren and Robert. Look at those smiles. So, Nicky, how old are you?
8.
And why do you love magic so much?
It just like it, really. My brother started and then said I might tag along and got into it and said I really like this, so I think I'll start doing it.
And what was your very first trick that you ever performed? Can you remember?
Probably the French drop.
The French drop? What's
Yeah.
the French drop?
It's where you make a coin, where you've grabbed it and you make a coin appear in the other hand.
Oh, right. That was your very first trick?
Yeah.
That sounds a complicated one. Now, what would you like to be when you're older?
A magician.
Without a doubt. Who's your favourite magician?
David Copperfield.
OK. Now, Darren, what do you want to be when you're older?
A magician.
You do want to be a magician. What's so special about being a magician?
Well, I just like the feeling and the fantasy. I like to watch people who are being shocked.
Really? And who's your favourite magician?
Well, for close-up tricks, then Paul Daniel I like, but for illusions, then David Copperfield is one of the best in the world.
Yes, I think you're probably right there. Is there anything else you like apart from magic?
A lot of things like swimming, golf, snooker, rugby, football, any sports, really.
So you don't do a lot with your time. But how old are you?
I'm 9.
You're 9. So, no, not a lot you do then at 9 years old. And Robert, what do you want to be when you're older?
Either a professional magician, a government scientist, or a politician.
Yep. I have a funny feeling you could probably be all three, Robert. How old are you?
9.
You're 9 years old, OK. And why do you want to be a magician?
Because I just like the feeling of entertaining people. I like that first look when you show somebody a brilliant trick and they sort of go, how did he do that?
Do that again to the face again.
They sort of like, how did he do that? You know, go on, tell us how it's done. No. I get a lot of pressure from sort of, you know, tell us how that's done. Oh, go on. I can keep a secret.
Oh, really? You can keep a secret? Oh, but go on, tell me, Robert, how are they done?
No.
OK. You really are going to be a professional magician, aren't you? Now, you've all performed on stage, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. For charity work, but have any of you ever performed on telly before?
No.
No. OK, just wanted to check that. Well, our winner tonight will have a VIP trip to see one of the world's greatest magicians, David Copperfield. And on top of that, they'll actually go backstage after the show and meet the master of illusion himself at the climax of a truly magical prize. Do you know, it's very lucky you said that David Copperfield was your favourite because he's watching now, so it would have been embarrassing if you hadn't admitted that, wouldn't it, really? So, to decide which of our three magicians is going to make their wish come true, they're each going to show us their skills in the art of wizardry. And our studio audience, yes, it's up to you, our studio audience, to decide who is best. OK. Good luck to all three of you. I think you're all the best, but somebody has to win. So, Nicky, you're first up, our first magician. Take your place on the stage. Nicky, over you go!
What do you see, you people gazing at me? You see a doll on a music box that's run by a tree. How can you tell? I'm under a spell. I'm waiting for love.
Oh, well done. And, of course, your wonderful assistants, Lisa and Francis. They were great as well. OK, our next magician. Are you ready?
Yes.
We have our very own little Chris Evans here. Darren as our next magician. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to think that my magic is an education, because when you go home tonight, you'll be thinking, well, that taught me a lesson. One day, I went to a shop to buy a book to do some colouring. I asked the shopkeeper for a colouring book, but he said he was out of stock. As I was leaving the shop, I noticed this book on the shelf, but the shopkeeper didn't want to sell me the book because he said something had gone wrong with the printing and the pages were all blank. The shopkeeper said, wait, if you pretend to use a normal pencil, then all the pictures will appear, like this. Weird. The shopkeeper said that's not all. If you pretend to use a coloured pencil, then all the pictures will appear coloured, like this. This is a trick that the late, great Tommy Cooper taught me. It's the fastest card trick in the world. Thank you, and good night.
Oh, Darren. Give me 5. And more. Fantastic, Darren. That was so good. Both of you so good. Now, it just leaves our future politician. OK, Robert, I wish you the very best of luck. You also want to be a magician one day. First time you're appearing on television. Take it away, Robert!
The name is Old. Robert Old. Double 09.5. Top license to thrill. I was summoned by M. Whilst I was waiting, Moneypenny appeared. I tried to convince her that bonds went out with Black Wednesday, but I got no change out of her. I confronted him. Oh, Old, I am cross. You think you're such a star. You make waves everywhere you go. Really, all you are is a square peg in a round hole. You have one last chance. Find the double agent. Use your ESP. So that is what I propose to do. A volunteer, please. Thank you. Now, one of these 5 symbols represents the double agent, right? I ask you to close your eyes and concentrate as I telepathically transmit the symbol representing the double agent to you. You will be receiving the message anytime now. Please tell us, what is the symbol in your mind?
Waves.
The waves. Are you satisfied with that choice? Let us see. Have you identified the double agent? You could have picked any one of the 5 cards, but you didn't. You picked the waves. So let us see. Have you identified the double agents? Yes. Now the real question is there more than one mole in the Secret Service? The answer to that is no. Bonds. Nobody does it better.
Well done. 8, 9 and 9 years old, never performed on television before. I thought that all three of them were wonderful, don't you agree? Weren't they fantastic? But, as ever, in whatever you want, there can only be one winner. And as I said, it's up to our studio audience. OK, so grab your buttons, because for button number 1, if you thought that Nicky was the best, can you please press button number 1, but not yet. If you thought it was Darren, then press button number 2. And if you thought it was Robert, then press button number 3. This is for meeting David Copperfield backstage at a show. Press your buttons now! OK, so I can tell you at the end of that, Robert, you got 26%, Nicky, you got 27%, but the person who is going to meet David Copperfield is Darren with 47%! Well done. Darren, come and sit here next to me. Come and sit next to me here. OK, very well done. Well done to you, Nicky, and to you, Robert, because you really did well. Darren, you know I said that you're going to meet David Copperfield, and you know I said you're going to see his show? Well, he's not going to be performing very close to here. So you're going to have to get on an aeroplane and go all the way to Lake Tahoe in America to meet David Copperfield! Is that a surprise? You didn't know about that, did you? Congratulations. Can you just do me a favour, Darren? What? Something's going on over there, and say, but now.
What now?
Tonight, locked in the limo, they've been rocking all over the world and topping the charts for more than 30 years.